0-4. A sweep in the second round. The Brooms are out in Los Angeles, but the silence inside the arena is deafening. This was not supposed to happen to the J.J. Redick machine. But as the final buzzer sounds and a 41-year-old LeBron James walks into the tunnel, the world is slowly realizing the terrifying truth. This was not just an elimination game. It was an autopsy. In the regular season, the media sold us a masterpiece. They told us J.J. Redick had solved the aging curve. They told us this motion-based offense was immune to the traditional fatigue of the NBA. But the playoffs are a different sport entirely. The playoffs do not care about regular season efficiency metrics. When Oklahoma City came to town, they didn't just challenge the Lakers system, they short-circuited it. The Lakers found themselves down 0-3, facing a younger, faster, and utterly ruthless opponent. The narrative of the brilliant tactician collapsed under the sheer physical pressure of the Thunder. Every rotation was a fraction of a second too slow. Every closeout lacked the violent burst required to stop a championship-caliber offense. This was the fourth sweep the Thunder had executed in the last 3 postseasons. They are a buzzsaw, and the Lakers walked directly into the teeth of the blade. The illusion of the perfect offense shattered, because a system is only as strong as the bodies executing it. But you cannot perform an autopsy without acknowledging the missing organ. The Lakers entered this brutal Western Conference crucible without their most vital piece, Luka Doncic. The entire architecture of the Los Angeles roster was built on the dual gravity of LeBron and Luka. Without the Slovenian maestro to control the tempo, the mathematical equation of the series was rigged from the tip-off. Marcus Smart fought with incredible heart. He played the role of the clutch enforcer, flawlessly fighting through contact to keep the heartbeat alive. Austin Reeves played out of his mind, dropping 27 points to tie the game late in the fourth quarter. But heroism is not a sustainable strategy against a perfectly balanced roster. The Lakers were asking role players to carry the gravitational pull of a superstar, and against the suffocating defense of the Thunder, the lack of a secondary elite shot creator was a death sentence. The void left by Luka forced LeBron to carry a burden he was supposed to have shed years ago. Oklahoma City does not beat you with one punch, they drown you. Look at the second quarter of Game 4. The Thunder erupted on a 17-0 run. 17-0. While the Lakers were gasping for air, Oklahoma City was simply cycling through their arsenal. It wasn't just the back-to-back MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, doing the damage. It was the economics of their roster construction. Jared McCain, the 14th highest-paid player on, the Thunder casually dropped 13 points. A.J. Mitchell, the 15th highest-paid player, exploded for 26 points. He was arguably the best player on the floor for entirely long stretches of the series. The Lakers were fighting for their lives, relying on a 41-year-old Titan to save them. The Thunder were treating the Western Conference Semifinals like a developmental scrimmage for their bench depth. It is a horrifying realization when you see the disparity in sheer kinetic energy. The Lakers were battling time. The Thunder had all the time in the world. There is nothing more cruel than the illusion of hope. In the second half, the Lakers mounted a desperate, chaotic resistance. Jackson Hayes threw down violent lobs. Rui Hachimura connected on a massive 4-point play. For a brief, fleeting moment, the Los Angeles crowd believed the King had one more miracle left in the chamber. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not interested in miracles. He operates in cold, hard reality. Whenever the Lakers clawed their way back, SGA simply navigated to his spot, sized up the defender, and drove the dagger deeper. He finished with 35 points, finding his flow state exactly when the Lakers were running on fumes. The comeback was a mirage. It was the final, desperate adrenaline dump of a dying organism. You can fight back for a quarter, but you cannot outrun youth over the course of 48 grueling minutes. Three-time champion Danny Green watched this collapse and identified the exact cause of death: fatigue. The Lakers had the heart. They had the pride. But they spent so much energy just trying to survive the early onslaughts that they had nothing left for the final push. Playing from behind against a team like the Thunder drains your mental fortitude. Your legs get heavy. Your decision-making fractures. In the clutch, execution is a byproduct of physical freshness. The Thunder were rested, rotated, and ruthless. The Lakers were a patchwork unit held together by the sheer willpower of the oldest player on the court. LeBron played magnificent basketball. 24 points and 12 rebounds, a vintage fadeaway in the first quarter that looked like it belonged in a museum. But you cannot fight the physiological reality of the human body. The Lakers didn't lose because they didn't care. They lost because their biological clocks simply ran out of sand. And now we arrive at the most chilling detail of the autopsy. Before the final horn sounded, before the brooms were finalized, LeBron James found Dwyane Wade on the sidelines. They embraced. It was a heavy, lingering hug. The media will analyze the stats. They will talk about the missed rotations and the absence of Luka. But the body language told a completely different story. LeBron James is about to become an unrestricted free agent. He is 41 years old. He will turn 42 in December. He has scored over 12,000 points in purple and gold. He brought them their 17th championship in the bubble, ending a decade of irrelevance. He passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on this very floor. But as he walked into the tunnel after the sweep, he didn't look angry. He looked resolved. This wasn't the frustration of a player plotting his revenge for next season. This was the quiet acceptance of a man who knows his time in this specific kingdom has reached its absolute end. We wanted to believe the Redick's system would make him immortal. We wanted to believe that high basketball intelligence could indefinitely override physical decay. But Father Time is undefeated. And in the 2026 playoffs, Father Time wore an Oklahoma City jersey. This series was not just a basketball defeat, it was a violent reality check for the entire league. The era of the solitary hero carrying a franchise on his back is officially dead. The future belongs to the relentless depth of teams like the Thunder. LeBron James may not be retiring. He deserves his farewell tour, wherever that may be. But the story of LeBron in Los Angeles, the story of the King reigning over the digital Coliseum of Hollywood, that story ended tonight. Not with a parade, not with a glorious Game 7 buzzer beater, but with a quiet, mathematically inevitable sweep. The autopsy is complete. The King has left the building.